Jeez, man, like,
Okay.
I'm a broski. Listen, it's good to have you here today, man.
Thank you very much for having me, bro.
Obviously, when we sat down with Kaya before, we said, you know, Raid Solo's coming on.
Yeah.
And it's mad because obviously we spoke about like going to school together.
Exactly.
Just like doing different things in life and kind of like different paths just sort of like developed itself, you know. So the question I wanted to ask you, is what's the one thing that people should know about you? And how do you get your feeling of importance? We can just break them down as two different
Okay. I would say the first one is that I try my best to be my own person, innit? So I might agree with someone with something and understand their point of view, but I'll also go with what I think is right, morally as well. And then for the second one, I'll say for importance, I'll say strive to be the best version of yourself. Also, like with your ambition in it, because I don't think, or what you want to achieve, because I don't think that's the only thing, like apart from everything else, that you can actually latch onto as well. It's like you and your mindset and what you want to do or achieve, like, while you're here.
So do you feel like when you become a better individual, like you develop yourself as a person, and you become more important?
Yeah.
You know, when you feel more important.
Yeah, I think it's about feeling important about yourself, because then if you show that self-love and self-importance for yourself, it starts to be, you start to become a magnet of it. You then start to attract it, but at the same time, it's up to that person with their own self-belief in it. Like I would say with like even yourself, like and what you guys do, you have to have a lot of self-belief to amount of videos that you're pushing out and you're pushing out as well. That's why I said I always respect it and big it up, innit? I see the work rate as well, you know what I'm saying, as well. It also, that I like to see that stuff as well, because also it motivates me to put more work rate in and all these type of things as well, where I might have a little stagnant period as well. You just start to, ideas start to pop up and you start to think of new things as well, innit? So it's always good as well when you see someone put in the work as well, you know?
No, I appreciate that. I mean, that's something I recognize you for as well. And you know what it is, I think sometimes it's really difficult to just push something when it's not like, for example, like like if you're not making a living with doing something at that moment.
Exactly.
It's really difficult to keep going. But you know what? I think there's the thing of like, there's a bigger picture.
Of course.
Or like just understanding that sometimes it takes time. Everyone's journey is different, isn't it? Some people just might make a video on TikTok and they just blow up.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And some people might be putting in work for 5 years until things
it's crazy like that as well. Yeah, literally.
But you know what? But I feel like one thing that we've got in common, which is lit, and you can talk about it if you want. I feel like there's a thing of like enjoying the process. It's like the sort of like on the journey of mastery, which is like the more we do something, the better we get at it.
Yeah, exactly. I hear you fully on that one. Yeah.
Well, what's your experience with that?
It's really I don't know your experience, but it's really like a roller coaster, because it's like there's a time when you've got so much energy, so much time, and you get self-disciplined about it. And then there might be a time where you're looking at it as like you're investing in it, but you're not actually making a living off it. You obviously have to do other stuff to then invest, and you put a lot of time into it as well, because obviously you're working for yourself as well. So like I think it's just like a roller coaster, but then even though you go through like that pain threshold, but I think you have to kind of go through that pain threshold to actually grow better, because when you do go through that pain threshold, it's like you get to a different stage. But it's like when you get to that stage of like learning it, it's like until you're there, you don't actually learn. Like you've learned like, I've learned this much, I've done this much, and then now this is because you don't actually know what the process is gonna reap, innit? Really and truly. So it's just been a roller coaster. But you know, like when I see the result, if anything, it humbles me more, and I'm more grateful for it as well. Do you know what I'm saying? And then it makes me see how other people put in work into their craft, into whatever podcasts, interviews, anything to do with that as well. And it just, I don't know, you start to you appreciate the game a lot more as well. So before it was more like, why is this not at this place and why is that? But then you start to understand the broader things and you start to self-reflect in yourself of stuff that I might be doing wrong. and then obviously I need to correct it to actually move the right way as well. So it's just an experiment, but I like it. It's a sense of freedom as well, you know.
Definitely. I think one thing that I realized as well with the process is that, do you ever like look back on your like old material?
Yeah.
And kind of go like, I've come a long way.
Yeah, exactly.
And then that's how I kind of feel sometimes. I look at some of the first of the podcasts we've did. They're not necessarily bad, but there's a lot of like the you know, like all these different things that I was doing. I'm just like, actually, it's been the journey and the goal is like learning how to be better at something in the process of it.
Exactly.
You know, like this is the starting point. I'm excited about like what happens 3 years later, like what happens with your music 3 years later, what happens with this podcast 3 years later.
Exactly.
And I think sometimes, that's what kind of keeps me thinking about like, let me enjoy the journey rather than the outcomes of it.
Exactly.
And like it doesn't get no better than this, like connecting with people, having conversations, and you know, I think it's important. I've got a slightly weird question. It's not actually a weird question, but when I was a kid, did you want to be, what do you want to become?
You know what is mad? It's like, I didn't initially be direct and be like, I want to be this person. It was like, I wanted to be a couple things, you know what I'm trying to say? It's like, when I was a kid and I used to see you like MTV Base or people performing back in the day, you're seeing 50 Cent, you're seeing Ashanti with Ja Rule, all of that as well. Man was just a fan of music at first. So I always thought, I wanted to be in a stage and perform music, like subconsciously in my head as well. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like when I was younger as well, I don't know why, but I thought maybe to go to astronaut, because you see a lot of cartoons and that, and they're going on into space and all these type of stuff as well. But it was always something that was creative as well. So something like that. I'll say what else? And I don't know why, but a superhero when I was younger.
I think probably everyone wanted to be a superhero at some point.
It's true,
Like usually, I think people want to become like a fireman or something.
Exactly,
like,
exactly.
Firefighter. Like it's do you know what? You know what's crazy? It's like I feel like it took me like maybe like up until I got to 24 years old. It took me like that long to figure out what I really wanted to do.
Yeah, of course.
What my purpose was, and I think sometimes it's like life is not linear. You know what? If I asked you, if I said hidden blessings, what does that mean to you?
A talent, or you found yourself in terms of that you have a talent, you have a craft. Obviously, from my observation of you, I would say your talent is communication and talking with people and being able to connect. Do you know what I'm trying to say? It's like with Aladdin, with his talent as well, it's obviously the visuals as well. Do you know what I'm trying to say? How he produces his type of stuff as well. So it's like, I think it's what you find within yourself, and then you go with your journey and pushing yourself. It's because you kind of find yourself, because before that you're kind of like, no disrespect here, I'm not going to talk about anyone else, I'm just going to talk about myself.
Nah, let's disrespect some people.
Yeah.
I'm up for that, man. Fuck it.
but a lot of people, when they don't know what journey they're on, they get lost in the external instead of looking in their own internal and think, what do they actually want as well, innit? So I think obviously everybody goes through that stage as well, because obviously even with music, you know, like back in the day when school time there was DJ club or whatever, and that man used to like love music there, but because obviously man's a person where I always had love for the craft, but I didn't want myself out there, because obviously I'm a private person. But then I thought to myself, this is a passion that I keep on doing as well. And then I just thought, one day, let me just run with it and then just F the rest, innit, literally.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And I think it just goes back to that thing of like, if you're enjoying it, that's what matters the most.
Exactly.
Like if you feel like you're going through the process and you're getting something from the process in itself.
Exactly.
Like you already won. It's like all the other stuff is just
It's
comes as an extra.
Exactly.
Just to add to what Rage was saying about blessings in disguise, you could say that, for example, you said communication, use it as an example. So if you was in school and you were talkative or chatty, your teacher could say you're disruptive or what have you. But as you get older, you learn that you being able to talk and communicate with people can actually be a talent and a skill that you can use. So that's another example of having a talent or having a blessing in disguise. I wanted to say it earlier, but I just didn't know when to interject.
At any point, man. This is it's a free space, man.
Trust me.
One of the reasons I asked that question, and there is no right or wrong with that question in general, I just want to see people's perspective around it, and what hidden blessings mean. Because I had this reflection, I had this deep moment like a couple of days ago, maybe like a week ago. But basically, I was thinking about what kind of hidden blessings do I have in my life that I can't even see. So, for instance, as an example, let's say maybe one time I got ill. I had COVID. I couldn't come out of my house. And I was probably thinking like, fuck, man, why am I ill? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm kind of like feeling like I'm dying, all of that stuff. But bro, maybe that day I would have walked out and got hit by a car.
So
you know what I'm trying to say? So that's what I'm saying, like hidden blessings. Like sometimes, you know, that we might be doing certain things.
But we take a lot of small stuff for granted as well.
But we'll never, you know what it is? There's something special about not being able to see what a hidden blessing. That's why I said it's a hidden blessing. We don't know. We could have hundreds of them over our head. Maybe one time we could have died or something else could have happened or whatever, but it never happened. So it's like a hidden blessing that I've never kind of seen it. That's why I wanted to kind of touch on that a little bit.
No, but that's a really that's a good way of thinking of it as well. Because it's even made me think of other stuff like, do you know what I'm trying to say? It's like, obviously, even just being here, you know what I'm saying? Because obviously, I don't know where you're originally from, but obviously I'm originally from Nigeria, innit? So it's a thing where people back home, that the way they're living there, obviously there's opportunities there, but compared to us, do you know what I'm trying to say? We might take certain things for granted, but compared to them, we're very privileged as well. So it's what you said about hidden blessings, that it makes you remind, innit? Be grateful, even though we strive for more and we want more as well. At the same time, be grateful as well. So,
well, which tribe?
Yoruba,
Yoruba, Jeez, come on. Listen, I've been learning. I know there's Yoruba, there's Igbo. They're like the main ones. But I got a friend. He's Edo.
Edo. Because there's different tribes as well. I think the main tribes, there is Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa. There's Benin. And then obviously there's tribes like Edo, but there's like so many other tribes, like maybe, I don't know, over 100. It could be even more.
Igbo tribe, Igbo,
Igbo. That's Igbo.
Oh, Igbo,
but it's spelled like Igbo.
It's spelled like Igbo, but it's pronounced Igbo. Oh, okay, got it.
Like, listen, no disrespect. Like Nigeria's coming like Game of Thrones. You know, like on Game of Thrones, you got all the houses and that. You like watched it?
I've watched it, but you see, Nigeria, it's a serious place. You know, they don't play about over there. You have to go with private security over there.
Listen, my friend was working on like, you know, on a ship. It's like a rigging ship, and it's like offshore and whatever. So he'd go to different countries here and there. So I ended up going to Nigeria, and basically he had security from the company straight from there. Like, he was in a car with two guys with AKs, like rolling with him as security. That is so mad. And they had nuts. like a armored vehicle, and they were making the traffic move. They say like, they tell you, yo, get out, or we're gonna shoot.
Is he from Nigeria as well?
No. He's half Pakistani, half English. So basically, he's kind of like white. Like,
so there's a lot of like private militia that you can hire out there in Nigeria.
I don't know. He said he had security hired.
You can.
Apparently, sometimes when some people go to the airport, apparently I heard stories of people get kidnapped.
Exactly.
There's a lot, they got the area boys there. They set up checkpoints as well. So they basically, you get taxed as you go along.
It's like what my family were telling me back in the day is that, what you said about the airport is true. You said that at first the Igbo people were doing it, then the Yoruba people started to do it as well. Because obviously in Nigeria there's a lot of corruption. There's a lot of opportunity, but a lot of corruption that's going on. So people are they either got like a business mentality. So in terms of, like, I was speaking to one guy before, and he was telling me when he went back home there, he basically said that he saw a 3-year-old child, and the child was hustling. You know?
Wow.
Yeah, the struggle's different. So people's mind is so like, they think we're living here and we're living super, super good. Like there's gold on the floor and everything as well. So if you have relatives from there, I know most Africans can relate as well. You always have a relative from there saying, can you send me money? All of this, I need this for that, but they might be going out spending the money on Guinness and partying, you know.
It's
literally,
crazy.
but it's Like what you were saying though, it's like, it's like there's nice bits, but you do need to be careful in it. Like a lot of spots in Africa as well, but there's so many like nice spots as well that people should like go out and see. Even me myself more as well. Do you get what I'm trying to say? But yeah, that's what I can say.
Yeah, definitely. I think I think every single country's got its, you know, ups and downs, man. And it's interesting because like even like with the whole like thing of like countries as well, like I said this before, but countries are not even a real thing.
Exactly.
Just, like the land and the people that live there are a real thing, but the actual countries are just concepts that's made up.
Exactly.
But you know what it is? Like I was actually having a conversation with someone the other day, and I was so fascinated with the fact that someone back in the day decided with a thing of like, we're gonna call this land this particular name.
Exactly.
And then everyone else, do you know what fucked me up the most about that? Yeah, is that every single other country or land done the same thing, like literally.
Exactly.
They done the same thing, which is kind of weird. If you could change one thing in the world, what would you change and why?
I would say one thing I would change is the restriction. I'd say if everyone could have their own freedom, so in terms of if everybody had opportunity to have their own house, have resources of food in a more free way, that people could be able to live better. I think that's one thing that I would change, because obviously because of different things that's going on, or different powers or certain gatekeepers, we have to, the way that we are forced to live is money in it, which is a manipulator or a medium of service or exchange or anything to do with that. And because of that system and the people that run that system, it's like everyone's kind of, I wouldn't say slaves, but or servants or whatever, but you have to stick to the system to actually, or you're kind of enslaved to the system to actually, unless you have your own business enterprise or anything to do with that as well. There's a lot of rules, there's a lot of regulations. So that's what I would take out as well, and put other rules and regulations, which is more for the people and protects the people, because obviously the rules and regulations, as everyone can see, the price, inflation, a lot of stuff it's not really for the people, innit? It's like what people say, innit? The rich getting richer and the poor getting poorer, innit? So unless people find different ways of thinking and attack it in a different type of way, then that's just going to be the normal matrix, basically. Yeah, but I
think that's the thing. I think you know what, for me, like being rich is the mindset thing.
Of course,
you know what I'm trying to say. So I'm not saying, and obviously there's this whole like thing of like creating a business and all the other stuff. But I think like if I'm rich mentally, like I don't really need anything else.
Exactly.
Not to say that I don't want anything else. Exactly. Those are two different things. But like at the same time, it's like I need to be good mentally.
Exactly.
Like, for example, you know what? You know when people get like, let's say you had like, I don't know, 100 million tomorrow, but let's say you're not healthy for the rest of your life. It's like, bro, what's that money going to do for you if you can't live and take life in fully? So I think there is a balance between...
You know what you're saying is so true. It's like I was listening to Sue Surf's new mixtape or album, what it was called. And there was one lyric that hit me when he said, what's a million without love? That's nothing. It ain't shit.
Yeah.
And that hit me differently. It's like you could have all the money in the world, but if you don't have certain relationships with people or a certain connection with people, that money is worthless.
Yeah, that's deep.
Do you know, you can't enjoy it with people that are your people around and people that you got love for or anything to do with that. And what you said with that I just instantly thought of that in my head as well. And it's so true. And I think it's like sometimes we get so, you know, like even myself, when you get so into the process of things as well, it's like you kind of forget things as well, which you kind of, that's why it's even good for the podcast to just giving me a little reminder as well, because you get so stuck in a matrix that these other things, these hidden blessings, we just take it for granted as well, which we shouldn't, innit, you know. So
definitely. Who would you say are your role models in life?
I'll say inspirations. I'd say, like, in a music aspect or life aspect?
Just in anything.
Okay.
Music can be life.
Okay, I'll say in a music aspect, I'd say like Nas, your Jay-Z's, your Jadakiss, your Styles P's, the old school D-Block thing, and how their man just had a lot of work rate and all this type of stuff. And then, like, if you talk about, obviously, life, role models, obviously you got family back home, they come from back home, just constantly working, you see their work rate, and it's just like, all right, cool, you kind of want to do something as well to help your family and the people around you and all this type of stuff as well. But I'll say more in the aspect of music right now, like in terms of, I like people like, I've said this before, like Dave East, because he's someone where he was putting a lot of work. He wasn't getting where he needed to get, but he kept on pushing. And now he's doing his thing, he's shining, you know what I'm saying? So it is, it just shows you when you believe in the process and have that so much, and it's what you said about the mindset, and you have that passion to put into it, that it makes it successful. Like even my boy, I know you previously interviewed him as well, Black Man the Traveller. I remember when he didn't have no videos, but at first he already had 1,000 subscribers as well. So literally, and then he had this vision. I remember I was working with him in Suffolk as well. We were working in a restaurant, and long story short, now he was telling me about this idea. I was like, yeah, just what's it called, push it in it, like, and then boom, he pushed it and he went mad with it. So yeah, big him up still. So it just shows that believing in a process is so true, innit? But we don't know when it's gonna happen, innit? So
definitely, I think he's old, because you know what, we first linked up. Obviously, I knew him from school, but like we didn't talk since school. But we first linked up for an episode on Airtime Prime. I don't know if you ever watched that one. You ever seen that interview? Yeah. No. And that was a while ago. That was that must have been during COVID, like the first COVID.
Yeah, 2020, isn't it? About what, April?
Yeah,
May, because he told me that he went on the platform with you boys actually, and that was one of the first few podcasts he actually did. Yeah. So I remember you guys were on it from early.
But you know what? But that's when I realized, and that's when he was talking about, it's like, yo, like, I'm gonna do this thing. And like, he was determined. He was like, you know what? He's like, I'm gonna do this thing, and it's like, I'm just gonna keep making content, doing this thing, and then eventually things just happened. In no ways as well. Yeah, there's see with YouTube algorithm. The way it functions is that, so YouTube makes money of like advertising. Or like people buying YouTube Premium and whatever. But the thing is, so for them to advertise, they need people to stay on YouTube. So they reward people that create a lot of content. Because the more content you make and the subscribers that you got for your content, they'll stay watching your content. That means they spend more time on YouTube. So they reward channels that create a lot of content and they keep pushing things out. Because that's how YouTube makes money. So that's the algorithm on YouTube.
Yeah, he's non-stop pushing.
That's probably like an incentive for content creators to stay on the platform as well. To reward them for that longevity and for them to keep at it, because obviously it's keeping users on their platform and watching content and watching consuming videos and watching stuff online. So that's actually a really good way to kind of to keep your platform users happy, I guess, and then just for the ones that are making videos and are constantly uploading content onto YouTube, that is.
Yeah, definitely. So now it's just like, it's all about making content. And again, I think Andrew Tate talks about this. He talks about speed, that everything's become about speed. So like people don't watch like long videos no more. Some people do, people that have time to invest in terms of developing themselves, but most it's like TikTok, YouTube Shorts, and it's just everything just so quick. People just want like a general what is that, and move on to the next.
Yeah, exactly. It's so quick like that. It's like, unless you have like a proper audience like that, where the people actually they fuck with your shit. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Then I think that's the only way right now, because I think everyone's attention span has been trained to look at these things, because obviously TikTok is not, I wouldn't say generally new, because before it was called Musical.ly, and then obviously it's gone to TikTok. But as for being exposed out for the current masses to use, it's not longevity wise, it's not been out there too long. It's been there, maybe people started using it properly, if I'm right, 2020, is that right to say, or 2021?
Probably blew up during COVID, didn't it?
Yeah,
and people just started. Yeah, they started.
I think around that time.
Before they had Vines, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it was a thing. It was a thing then, but it's just it wasn't.
But now it's great. Like, right, it's what sorry, I apologize. It's all about people have had difficulty to watch a video for like longer than 60 seconds. That's the truth. Literally, like Vines, TikToks, YouTube Shorts. I think Facebook does as well. Facebook has like shorts as well.
Yeah, I think they've started.
It's growing more and more. And it's true, because again, you kind of squeeze a lot of information within 60 seconds.
Exactly.
And that's probably kind of more than enough time.
Yeah.
Anything longer than that, it's kind of just white noise then.
Exactly.
It's sad, but it's the truth. So like, people read books, how kind of stuff, quite like to them it's too boring. Yeah. Reading the book was like one of the key things in life to make you a bigger person, a smart person.
Exactly.
So it's scary, man.
Do you know, it's like, speaking of speed, do you think that the music industry has become like a fast food?
The music industry is a madness right now, in terms of you've really got to be pushing out music to be heard, because people think with this mentality, they might be talented as well. There's no problem. There's so many people out there and talented. Me also, I know I'm talented, but at the same time, I know that for me to be put out there, I have to put a certain amount of work rate, because now the way the algorithms, like you were saying, is there's a lot more people. So that means that not only do I have to push more content, but I have to think of not only my music being unique, but unique ways of marketing myself out there as well.
I think marketing is a big part.
It's so big. Like, I think right now, and networking is the biggest thing right now, because it's getting more, I don't want to say volatile or hostile, but it's getting more cramped as well. So I think it's a thing what you said is about speed is very important, but in terms of quality as well at the same time.
I think what I realized is that it became easier to make music. But like, compared to back in the day, like, people need to have like, obviously there's still like distributors and all of the other stuff, but now it's just like, you don't need to get a studio.
Exactly.
You can just buy your own equipment, set up at your house, and then just start making music. You can self-learn how to make beats. It's all these different things that people can do themselves now.
Exactly.
But like before, it was way harder to get into that industry.
Exactly.
So now, because there's more people that can do it, like, there's more music coming out.
Exactly.
And because there's more music, it's like, cool, I listened to one song just came out the other day. Then 2 days later, there's a new song. Then there's another one. There's another one. It's like the year goes by. Like, sometimes, I don't know if you ever got like a saved playlist thing, I go through my tracks and I go, oh shit, this is a banger. I forgot about this track because there's another like 100 tracks that came out after. And it's just like, it's crazy, man.
Yeah, it's just so, it's true what you said about the marketing. I think the marketing is so key, how you market yourself. But it's not only just marketing in terms of getting yourself out there, but in terms of doing different stuff, which will, like I said before, catch people's eyes. Networking with the right people, doing the right features as well. I also believe to work with people that believe in their craft and they have the work rate to actually produce as well, produce more content, and just take it serious as well, literally.
And the thing about marketing as well, the other thing I realize is that most people that are fans of a person, they usually buy the music or whatever it is that they're kind of sort of advertising. They do it just because they like the person.
Exactly.
You know what I'm trying to say? So it becomes more about the person. That's why, like, in football teams, it's like people follow the player.
Yeah, exactly.
And the player brings the money with them.
Exactly.
You know what I'm trying to say? Regardless of what club they go to.
Yeah, it's true.
So it's kind of like that. So that's why I think people missed up the most important point, which is about who are they as a person, what values do they have, and how does that connect with people that follow them?
Exactly. Yeah, I totally agree with that one still.
Here's a question for you. What do you feel like is your biggest failure in life? Okay. And what did you learn from that experience?
I'll say my biggest failure would be, that's a very good question, because there's a lot of failures as well.
Come on, that's why we go beyond the surface, bro. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Obviously, I say my biggest failure is obviously like when I was younger, innit? Obviously, man got locked up for something, innit? Do you get what I'm trying to say? So obviously, I don't want to go too into that, but obviously, I'll say it's that, because obviously, when man was in that situation and that, do you get what I'm trying to say? Obviously, man can handle myself because obviously I grew up in a certain area, innit? But mindset-wise, I said to myself, yo, man's above this shit. You know what I'm saying? So, but then through that, we see a lot of hidden blessings. You get me? Whenever, whatever stuff, if I was just on a normal thing, or say certain times I maybe just, there's no TV there or something, that man's done something, and a lot of books, they open my mindset different. You meet a lot of intelligent people there as well. It's not always people that are just on the road. Some people there are just for, may have done some F or
419.
Exactly. And you meet a lot of intelligent people there, and then you think, rah, what these people are saying is like, some people shouldn't even be there. Do you get what I'm trying to say? There's some people that they would, how can I explain it? It's like they would be aggressive only in that if they needed to, but at the same time, it's like they're very smart and they weren't into that stuff, but other stuff would trap them as well. It's like, even if I did get into whatever occasions or whatever, it's kind of, I knew myself, it's because you see a lot of people and it's a bit like outside when people, they talk about negative stuff. I was trying to talk more with people that were, I don't know, more productive and anything like that. So that was more time, my mindset as well. I'll say another big failure, I would say, is not doing music as quick as possible. It goes down to stuff that you were saying about no equipment. But not using my own knowledge to actually find a way to do this. It's a thing of constantly thinking that I need these people to rely on them because they have certain resources or certain amount of knowledge where they can do these things, where then it brought a more of a self-reliance within myself. But it took me a long while to learn that as well, because obviously I was a bit 50-50, like I've got passion for music, but at the same time I don't want my face out there, all of this type of stuff. And when I put it to perspective, and I was just like, but through them failures, big blessings, it's like we said about hidden blessings. They kind of, I don't think I'll be the type of person if I didn't go through that type of pain threshold as well, which is weird, isn't it? You know what I'm trying to say? Because obviously it's not it's not the best of situations, innit? You know what I'm saying, innit? But it's not like you kind of put that in the past and you just focus on what to do and grow productive and think more on productive stuff instead of not saying I'm full-time productive. I'm just a normal human being. I still have my flaws in it, but still working on them, innit? I've tried to count more of my weaknesses. Like even recently I went back to the gym, and it's a thing where I know I'm weak on shoulders and legs. So now I'll work more on my shoulders and legs so that I can.
You're coming training, is it this Sunday or next Sunday?
Next Sunday. I'm definitely coming. But yeah, it'll be good as well, do you know what I'm trying to say? Because obviously, like, what's it called? Compared to like school times, man see you now, man seeing me, I'm like, bro, you're looking healthy, like the way you know what I'm saying? You're working out in the gym and it's good as well, like health wise as well.
Yeah, no, it is. Do you know what it is? It's gonna sound like kind of weird, yeah. But see, for me, my gym time. So when I train with people, I train with people. Yeah, usually when I go by myself, it's kind of like I go on a date with myself.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like it sounds. It's my reflection time.
Yeah, of course.
So I kind of get to like I spend that time, and obviously I'm working out, but I'm still processing certain things around who I am and how I perceive the world, and it's just my space. And
yeah, of course,
basically,
of course.
And I think that's what it became more of a learning incubator. So I don't go gym to go gym anymore. Yeah. Like that's a byproduct of something else. I go gym to reflect and have my own downtime.
Like, how would you reflect? Like, in what type of way? Like, basically?
I would just think about like whatever's going on in my life, or I would just process it, or maybe like listen to like an audio book while I'm training to try attach something from there to my life. Sick, and man. So basically, my thing is this: I go to the gym. And before I enter the gym, I'm a certain person. And by the time I leave the gym, I want to become a better version of myself. So I spend an hour and a half of becoming not just physically but mentally.
Exactly.
So to me, that's where I do most of my development in life.
That's a sick way of thinking of it. I'm a defo respect for that, bro. Because I'm defo gonna use that mentality as well, because it's a great mentality of thinking of that, because you applying that mindset to everything else as well. Because I've noticed with gym as well, it brings a lot of self-discipline within yourself, and it brings that consistency. Because if you don't put them two in, you don't see results as well. And that mindset there that you just said, if you apply it to everything, then the world is really your oyster. Like there's abundance of opportunities that will come. Exactly. So
really is. What's your creative process like? How do you write music?
So the way that I write music is I'll put on a beat. I'm very selective with beats, not because I'm just being picky, is that I want to drop on a beat as hard as possible as well. So what I'll do is I'll put the beat on, and then I'll do a little like freestyle in my head. As I go through that freestyle in my head, little 4 to 8 bar, and then from there I'll just write it, because I like my stuff structured. From back in the day, it was always structured. So I write there and structured as well. And obviously, I done well in English lit, but I didn't do good in English language as well. But English lit had a lot of poetry with it as well. And I always liked poetry, but the stories behind it as well. So I was always interested in story as well. Because obviously with my music as well, I wouldn't necessarily say it's actual storytelling, even though I can do that. And I will do that later on, because obviously I want people to actually get to know me more as a person as well. But I say that I paint the picture and I show my expression through the music as well. So then once I've written that, all of that, basically, I'll go to the studio, go on the mic, and then obviously the engineer will do what he's got to do, innit? Like obviously, when I big up 2 engineers as well. First of all, that's Freedom Mind, because he's been with the process with man as well, and he's been giving me like good talks as well, good advice on what I had to do the music as well. And he's been genuine with the music as well. Yellow Bear as well, big him up as well, because he's also recently been in the process as well. So big both of them.
You know, Freedom Mind. Is he like a philosophical person? Because his name is sick. Freedom Mind. Like it's just, that's a hard name.
Nah, he's like, obviously, like, first of all, he's my boy first, and then we just go to the music. That's why I think we have so much chemistry as well, because obviously certain of the beats, I've jumped on his beats as well. But he's a guy where he's very knowledgeable and clued up with certain things. We don't only just talk about music, we'll talk about other stuff which is going on with life as well. He's very knowledgeable. He is philosophical, because we will just be talking about mad stuff of like what you know when you were talking about the countries, how they condition people to say, this country is this name, but then if you look back in history and you do your research, it was named something completely different. And then if you look about slavery or the main tongues of languages, like who actually dominated society or world civilizations, you look at English, you look at Portuguese, you look at French, you look at Germany. these are a lot of main tongues in a lot of countries as well. Obviously, there's a bit more, but I can't remember off my head. But it's just like, it goes more into the deeper stuff and that. And then I've clocked through that relationship there. You just start to make better music. The music just becomes more organic as well, because I start to go hard on the mic. If I'm doing something which is not on point as well, he will let man know as well. And what he does in his craft and the way he does it is just quality as well. So yeah, just have to big him up on that one as well, because he does a good job.
What's been your best experience so far?
What, in the studio?
Yeah, just in terms of making music in general, or like even performing, or
I would say best experiences. I couldn't even just say one.
Yeah.
But I'll say just being able to go to the studio and then you make a banger, but you didn't envision the banger to come out like that. And then when the tune is chopped up and engineered and mixed and mastered to a certain level, and then you start visualizing the actual video of it, but you kind of have to put that to the side, not to be stingy with it and say you're holding music, but you want the visuals of that tune to be quality with the music as well, because it's like deserves it. Because I don't know when I'm gonna make a banger and I feel it like that as well. Because more time when I feel it, the people, they resonate more with that as well. I'll say a good experience as well, or one of the best experiences, when you perform and then you're putting your all into the performance, and then the reaction of the people is just like, I mess with your music as well. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So like that's another like very, very like banging, like very good experience for me basically. Yeah.
So you see on the visuals as well, yeah. Do you feel like people start taking it too far? Because like I'm seeing some crazy budgets like on visuals, like people like it just, to me it's just like it doesn't make sense. And sometimes I question like the production cost of it and what it actually makes back. And I'm just like, do you feel like it's gone nuts? A little bit crazy.
You know what it is? It's like, if people can afford to do it, then do it. But at the same time, it's like, when you do see it from a business point of view as well, people are going a bit too crazy, where you can actually find the knowledge yourself and like do the videos. Like my last 3 videos that I did, like obviously I got a camera myself, obviously my boy who's my manager as well, Kaya as well, my boy Royal as well.
Shout out Kaya. King Kaya.
Come on, shout out to
my manager as well. They all just came through for my On Top freestyle video shoot, and then they were helping me shoot it out as well. We just did like a group collective type of thing, and I edited that one myself. And then obviously for Soul Freestyle, Mo also helped me out for that one. And then my tune Grow, big up Shooter Yusuf as well. If you lot don't know about him as well.
Oh, what's his name? Shooter Yusuf?
Yeah, Shooter Yusuf, yeah.
The name's a bit mad still.
We saying drill artist coming out.
Nah. Top quality photos, man. That type of shit.
I just hope he's
shout him out though.
I hope he's using the camera, bro.
He's a quality photographer, man. We can vouch for him. So shout out Shooter Yusuf as well.
Yeah, that's a sick name.
But he actually, just like he was listening to my music, and he just believed in my craft, and we went to Kew Gardens and we did a couple shots there as well, and then I edited that one myself, and yeah, luckily it came out all right. Obviously there could be so much to improve on that, but at the same time it's like I made it where it's a certain amount of quality and the people can see it and they'll be able to enjoy it as well. I did the best I could do there as well. So I think people can, like what you were saying, people can be self-reliant and they can find different ways of making it cheaper for them. But I think so many people are so focused on the image of things that they get delusional in terms of spending and wasting so much money when it's not worth it.
But do you actually care about the visuals on the tracks? Like, do you like?
What's your opinion?
Personally, Do you know what I have to say? Give a quick shout out to Mist. So Mist started going international in regards to making visuals in the UK scene. Don't get me wrong, Blade Brown was doing it back in 2011, filming in America and whatnot, but the UK scene wasn't taking it on board per se. People still, you know, chilling on their council estate or getting fly German cars or hiring out models. But now it's gone from strength to strength. So in regards to a visual aspect, I think visuals play a key part. But if the talent is very talented, we'll disregard the visuals and just hear the lyrics itself.
Exactly.
Because I'm just thinking, like, if like, let's say like Future makes a banger,
yeah.
Like, if you want to listen to that track, do you actually, bro? Like, I don't think I'd care about the visuals.
Yeah.
Because more time, I'm not even playing the track for the visuals. I'm playing the track to listen.
Exactly.
So people that actually sit there and just go throughout the whole visuals, it's like, cool, there's visuals there, but yes, I don't know, man. It's a weird one. Maybe it's to do with the movie storytelling sort of
it's
kind
like,
of vibe.
Yeah. Yeah. To be honest, like there is a lot more cheaper ways of how you can make your visuals more cost efficient. But I think because so many people, they care so much about, and you know what it is, you can have all them quality videos as well, but the thing that I always realize as well, it's generic. It's not necessarily, you put a lot of money, but you put a lot of money for it to be generic. So it looks nice, but it's still generic. And yeah, people might go through there, but then it slows down the speed process of what you were talking about, because that person will put so much money, unless they're backed by a label and they can actually do that, or they've just got the funding to do that. But it's like, you then have to measure the ratio of, obviously it's first the passion, but you have to measure the ratio is, what I'm spending, is it going for what I'm like getting a return back, my income as well. So I do agree with you on that one. So some people, they'll spend crazy on it because they care too much of the image of the people, instead of just, do image and you can do flashy and that, but have like a certain essence of yourself as well.
Do you know what the maddest thing is? Yeah, like when they shoot the music videos as well, they also kind of make it out to be like, that's the life they're living all the time.
Exactly.
But like, I think people must, like, they have to be stupid to watch a video and go like, yeah, they probably live like that every single day.
No, but you see people, they're very easily impressionable. So if someone shows something of bling or something like catches the eye, people are then drawn into it and they'll be like, rah, like, I saw my man, or, oh, you see that girl, she was wearing those red dress or red shoes, or I've seen my man driving a Bentley and then I see him on the bus the next day. But like, people's perception is warped by social media and the internet and all of that, man. It's crazy.
You know what? Nah, you know what? You're so right. Yeah. Do you know what I just realized? I just realized that industry is built on desire. Because everything they put in all the videos is to do with desire. So either they'll put girls in there or cars or whatever, and it's all to do with desire. Like, that's crazy.
That's actually like, that's spot on. Literally, temptations, desire. Yeah.
But then again, it's human nature, because we're drawn into things like that, because people are not living the way they want to live because, you know, commitments, paying bills and lifestyle. So when they're seeing someone else living that lifestyle, they see it as motivation to say, wow, look, if that person's living like that, maybe I can live that sort of way.
Exactly that.
You know what I mean?
Exactly that.
Yeah.
So true.
But more time they don't, but when the camera's off, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying, some of them probably do like live most of the days like that, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, if they really want to. I think,
I'll give you an example, a lot of people, their priorities are mad. So I met a person, he's got £1,000 shoes on, I went to his gaff, he doesn't even have a bed, he was sleeping on the floor with a mattress. I was like, yo, listen, you got £1,000 shoes, you know you can get yourself a bed frame and a bed, you know what I mean, and a mattress, and still have some change over to get some Nikes. I said the game was up, man. I don't believe anything I see on the internet anymore, man. I just play my position.
Damn. Alright, bro, do you know what else I want to touch on, before we like also start wrapping up? You see, like, because obviously we've got a mixed audience from some people are from Newham, some people aren't, some people are from different parts, like some people are from the States, like different countries and stuff. Like, bro, what's Newham like? Obviously, I know what it is as well. I'll get into that.
Listen, you see Newham, If you're naive, if you don't know what time it is, you don't know what day it is, you bump into the wrong character, you're getting manipulated, somebody's telling you to do something you didn't expect, you thought they had your back, before you know you're in a situation where you can't handle. It's either you're up against a judge or even worse, mate. So you see Newham, you just have to mind your own business. If you meet some good people, keep them around you. Apart from that, be a lone wolf, because people are out here to sabotage your future in Newham. It's so sad.
Newham's a crazy borough. I think Newham's very different. Like I'm not, by the way, I'm not saying it's the most like savage borough. Yeah. Every borough is slightly different.
Exactly.
But see, even Newham, there's something weird about Newham where it's like things just happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Like even the most random things just happen.
Exactly.
Like one of the guys I was working with before, he basically, like I spoke to him the other day. I linked up with him on Friday and was talking about Newham. So he's from South. So it's like he's from South. He's Southeast, all of that stuff, And then Macy was talking about stuff, and he was saying like, listen, it's like South London is bad, He goes, but when I started working in Newham, and I started seeing what's happening in Newham, it's just like people dying, this happening, like maddest things like happening, just random stuff. He goes like, Newham is crazy. Newham is crazy. He's just so different. Bro, Barking Road. No Barking, Romford Road.
Romford Road, Yesterday it got locked off. I don't know why happened
was it?
Romford Road yesterday. Yeah.
You telling me, innit?
Yeah, they blocked off Romford Road towards Stratford, and they blocked off.
I didn't even know. I just said it. Something just happened, bro.
It just happens like that. But you know what? Another thing about Newham as well is that after living there, I've lived in my whole entire life. All this kind of stuff we're talking about, all this stuff we just talk about now, it just becomes normal. It becomes like you become desensitized to it.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's not
bad.
such a normal thing. Only when you get out of Newham and you explore and go to different places do you realize that this is not actually a normal setting.
Until people
tell you, wow. You see the look on their face and the look of shock. And it's just like a normal occurrence, and you become like almost, I want to say numb to it, but it just becomes, it just becomes part of your environment and part of the area you grew up in.
You know that show called Grilling, innit? Tiny Beast was on there, and that's what he was talking about. He was saying like, what did he do? Yeah, he was saying like, bro, it's like when man was growing up, everything seemed normal. This is happening, that's happening. He goes, but when I got into different environments, it goes like them things were not normal.
110%.
Only then he realized it, man. So it's crazy, man.
But it's never a boring day in London, in Newham, man. Like it's always something going on. It's either a robbery, something chased down, or there's feds everywhere for no reason. There's always something going on. You can never walk down the road.
60 stop you today.
Yeah, because
get me. Like,
even I don't want to say no names, but there was a grime artist, There was a grime artist who was grooming kids from our school, to do transit vans as well. This was
I remember that still, but
he was
real life. Nah, real life.
I can't say no names.
It's real life. That's real. It's real. People were from school hitting that. You know, don't get me wrong, people making money, but a lot of people got big sentences for that.
But listen, but the point I'm making, the guy was a big man at that time. I think it must have been like 19 or 20 or something like that. And he was grooming 11 kids to go lick off trans, bro. Do you know how insane that is?
Yeah, that's nuts, man.
Like, bro, you can't make that shit up.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I was in the park once. Someone told me to do the exact same thing. I said, listen, look, I know I'm broke, but I'm not stupid.
Shit. No, I know I'm broke, but I'm not broken.
Literally, 100. And you know what it is? What we were just talking about, temptations on social media. You'll see the guy there, and you have maybe a big car, flashy that, but that's not everyone. There's a few selective people that will be able to successful, because obviously there is a jungle as well, so many things are going on. But when people see this stuff, they want that now. So then they start to get into that, and then they get into this and they get into that. But one thing I'll say about Newham is very multicultural. Like there's such a multi-tongue of so many languages.
I think there's 110 languages in this borough. Like,
wow. That's different still. Yeah, exactly.
You know we've got like a Latino community that no one even knows about.
What, Newham?
Yeah.
Where? What?
I think around
like a Spanish girl, you know where?
maybe I don't know.
There's
maybe
actual
Eastern Plaster,
proper Latino community.
Proper chica.
I know we've got a Portuguese community in East.
No. We've got an actual Latino community. Like,
oh wow.
Yeah, it's in a location. I'm trying to go to a Latino
listen,
party.
I don't know, but
reggaeton thing.
Yeah.
What about me?
No, but seriously, we do. It's
another one a lot of people don't know about is there's a large Filipino community as well in Newham.
Yeah,
like Plasto and some parts of Canada, but mostly Plasto.
Okay.
Because they got a Filipino shop called the Pinoy Fuse or something like that on Barking Road. Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? Do you know I mentioned Romford Road, by the way? Yeah.
Yeah. What's going on Romford Road?
Do you know what's going on Romford Road?
Too much is going on Romford Road.
No. But do you know what's actually going on?
What's going on?
Have you lot seen the You Want Business?
Oh yeah, I've seen
I was out on Romford Road,
bro. Listen, Romford Road is nuts, bro.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna lie to you, that's been happening since like 08, 09, man.
Bro, you know that hotel next to McDonald's as well?
Yeah.
That was a brothel
That's where all
house.
the crackheads live as well, bro.
Bro, it's mad out there, bro. That place.
I think they found a decomposing body down there somewhere.
By the petrol station, by the police station.
Yeah, bro. It's nuts,
By the
bro.
police station for the body.
Fam, the ends are crazy, bro.
Trust me, it's a nuts place.
The ends are crazy, bro. And I still live here, bro. Listen, I walk
same.
out my yard sometimes. I walk through an alleyway, bro. There's human shit in the alleyway, bro.
Oh, nah.
Crackheads though, innit? Alright, can I have some change, please? All of
Yeah, you
that.
know what? Actually, this is the last thing I want to touch on. Yeah, this is the last thing I want to touch on.
Yeah.
What do you think about the Romanian beggars? Like, do you think that's a?
They're fraudsters. Hold on.
I think that's a finesse, yeah.
I saw a lady. I don't care. She's from Westfield on the bridge. She come. It was around like 2 o'clock in the morning.
I know, and she's on the floor like this.
Yo, she came off the bridge, went downstairs, jumped to an S-Class. Backseat.
wow.
No way,
bro.
No way.
Somebody was,
That's nuts.
No way.
S out.
Do you know what's going on in regards to the begging situation? The issue is we're feeding into that. So what we're doing, people are just giving them a pound, but you know, a pound turns into £2, £2 turns into £4. What's happening is they're actually making a living. They can make up to $150 a day just sitting there begging.
That's nuts.
And the worst one is the one with the kids. They'll come with their little kids these times. I don't know whose kids it is. I don't know who kids they stole, and they're begging with the kid, man. They're working your emotions. It's sad.
I know.
Yeah.
Really
Even
is.
times like I feel bad, I'm like, nah, I can't help you.
Yeah.
Well, there's two that you see on the train in the morning, Central Line. You jump on the train like 7-ish in the morning, go Central, these two dunnies with sticks in the hand. When they get to Central London, off the circus, they start limping. But go out the staircase, do the staircase for the train. Got Central, so I started limping. I was like, yes.
I heard that culturally, apparently, they even when they get older, they don't stop hustling. That's the thing, innit? So they always look for like what they can do, how they can hustle.
Okay.
Bro, I went to, is it London Bridge? By Big Ben. That's not London Bridge, is it?
No, that's Westminster Bridge, bro.
Yeah. So basically, I went to that bridge, and I saw so there was like 2 circles of gypsy people. You know when they do the dash thing? You know when they done it in East Ham? They used to do it in East Ham.
Yeah, I remember they used to run card games in East
Ham.
Bro,
but they do in Central London now. And it's like you can see that they all know each other, bro. They look similar, just giving like pretending like they're playing, just trying to get tourists to come and get.
Yeah, because then someone's gonna get trapped in it and just lose all their money. Another one is the ones that give you a rolls for free, but it's not really for free. They expect money in return.
Exactly.
And there's that weird silence.
There's a trick behind that.
I work in Central London, so I see it all the time.
Hey, bro, have you
An American woman would be flattered like, "Oh, a rose for me," and then she's expecting something in return.
Hey, have you not seen that? Have you not seen that? There was a couple Romanian guys that set up this like bar in Stratford.
Oh yeah,
And they were hanging, and there was one guy hanging on there, and he started. He tried to drag him down. Yeah.
Listen, I was there that day. You know, I filmed that incident. I was there live and direct. So what happened is, some guy they pulled out some random pull-up bar thing, and if you hold it down for up to like 60 seconds, they'll pay you out £100.
Okay.
So the guy got up to about 50 seconds. Before you know it, some Romanian guy pulled the other guy down, and the guy wanted to beef him, and then there was like 10 Romanians around him, and then he knew what time it was. So he was like, "Alright, cool, I'm coming back." They're my number one fraudsters.
Trust me, literally.
Fam, it's crazy.
That's
crazy. But listen, my broski. Let's start wrapping it up. Is there anything you'd like to promote? Before we check out.
So yeah, obviously I'd like to promote. Obviously, if you haven't added me up, add me up on Insta. That's Raids, RAIDZ _solo. That's my Instagram. And then my YouTube, if you can subscribe to my YouTube channel as well, it's Raids Official Music as well. You'll see the channel if you type in Raid Solo on my YouTube as well. And I've got a next tune coming out in December. It's called Feeling Fly Today. Visuals done by Mendes as well. So yeah, just watch out for that. And yeah, see me on more banging podcasts like Beyond the Surface as well. And yeah, next year 2023, I'm just trying to get myself out there. And then yeah, I'm gonna work on a certain tape for 2023 because I ain't released no tape 2022, but 2020 and 2021 I released EPs as well. So I kind of want to get back into that one as well. So just trying to re-strategize certain things.
If there's one track that people should go listen to, like let's say people jumped off the podcast and said I'm gonna go listen to one track, what track would you tell them to go
Tweet Tweet.
Which one?
It's called Tweet Tweet. Yeah, it's on my if you check it on Spotify. And the thing is like I've got Deep Within, which I put on YouTube and other platforms, but I took my next one, Resonate, which has got Tweet Tweet in it, and it's only for like streaming purposes as well. So I'll say listen to Tweet Tweet as well. I just think, I don't know, it's just a soulful tune, and I get to express a lot of stuff, how I'm feeling, and it's got a lot like the bars, even the bars, it's like where they fly birds and they tweet. So they fly birds, do you get me? But they tweet. But Twitter is actually a bird as well.
Yeah.
So it's just I don't know. You just have to listen to what I'm saying in it, and as well, it's got a lot to do with like your own journey and bettering yourself as well. But the mix of the environment as well, where we live as well, Newham and just London in general. So that's one tune that I would say, basically, yeah.
Sick, man. And when you get a chance to tell something to 8 billion people,
yeah,
what would you tell them?
I would just say constantly just stick to your ambition, or what the ambition that will lead to your happiness. Obviously, it's like what you said before. It's like a lot of people, even myself, we just stick to a lot of business or whatever, or material things, but obviously count your blessings, your hidden ones, and just find a route of where you can find your happiness and freedom as well. Whether it's financially, whether it's mentally, whether it's emotionally, whether it's family-wise, whether it's traveling, it's do something where there's a passion, you feel alive. Because I think a lot of people, they do a lot of stuff where they might just be working a normal job as well. Like, big up anyone that does a normal job. Get me? Man does it as well. But they don't actually feel passionate towards it as well. I don't think it's fair for people to feel like that as well. That's why I respect what you're doing as well. It's like taking a gamble with it as well, and totally believing in yourself in terms of pushing out a passion out there that you feel so passionate about it as well. So I can just, that's why I respect it as well, and I appreciate just having me on and that as well. And I think, yeah, this conversation has just been as organic as possible, which I love that our podcast, just everything's natural, innit? Yeah. So, yeah, but I just, big up Beyond the Surface, yeah, definitely, exactly, yeah.
No, there's no script. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, 100%. 100.
Yeah, I appreciate you being here. And do you know what, yeah? I think for me, there's a level of like sentimental value.
Yeah, of course.
Even having this conversation in the first place.
Yeah, of course.
Like I said, we went to school together.
Exactly.
We used to chill in a park together.
Exactly.
From back in the day.
Exactly,
so,
man.
I'm saying,
I swear that I used to chill in Manor, yeah?
Yeah.
Come on, my guy.
Yeah, back in the day, man. Even school times as well. We used to play basketball, football together. Even the youth center as well. Yeah. And then it went after to Manor Park as well. Yeah. And then from youth center, then there was like a little gap. Then it was Manor Park after as well. So it's always just been good vibes as well, innit? Like we always did like sports stuff as well.
Do you remember Adrian from First Gate Youth Center?
Yeah.
That guy used to be drunk during the daytime, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, what, drunk during the day?
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. You see, alcohol is a serious thing, bro. I didn't realize about alcoholism till you get later on in life, bro. I see one guy drinking a Stella at 6 in the morning on the way to work. I said, oh my God.
Bro, but the guy was working with youths, bro. He used to be drunk during the daytime, bro. That's peak, fam. Like you could like we used to smell alcohol on his breath. Bro.
Exactly,
like, it's mad. But yeah,
he was always hyper as well.
And do you remember June as well?
June. Who was that?
That's an off-camera conversation, anyways.
You would have changed.
We know about you.
Say less.